everybody. Oh my goodness. I'm going to go back under the tree. It's so light out. It's so bright. It's a beautiful day. Oh, I'm sorry to be late in the day. Gosh, my hair probably looks purple in this light. I'm sorry to be late in the day. I was away for a couple of days. I went down to South Florida to be with some friends to celebrate a 50th birthday. All my girlfriends are turning 50 this year. It's coming up on my turn. So, but it's just a beautiful day. It was beautiful at the beach. It was very therapeutic, very clearing. It's really needed, I think, after the heaviness of the Jewish holy days and the new moon and hey, Allison, and the moon is still in Libra, so it's all about relationships, and finding that balance can be really challenging. And then so we had the full moon yesterday in Airies, and it's just the lead up has been so much drama, because then we have Pluto that went direct, and I think a lot of times we think Pluto, he's so little and he's so far out there, what kind of damage can he do? But oh my goodness, put a lot of strain on relationships, and a lot about releasing toxicity and just clearing and closing doors. It's really time to close doors, and because so much with Libra is about those relationships, and Aries is really about clearing toxicity and just closing those doors. And so you put in some, because they're opposite sides of the wheel, and then you put in the storminess of Pluto, and then it gets to be a lot. And so I don't know if you have been feeling up to the full moon in this last couple of days, and that's really in the last 2 weeks, as we go, the energy goes up to the full moon and then comes down to the new moon and up again. And so as we're going, from the new moon in Libra into this now full moon in Aries, it's been a lot of drama. There's been a lot of drama. We see it in the political landscape. We see a lot of drama in our relationships, and a lot of people where we're just being called on to close doors and end chapters and to release people. And I think one of the things that's so important to remember is that we do all these things with love. One of an energy worker that I used to work with so much before Robert became an energy worker was just, she would say, love them away. And I think that is just the most brilliant thing, because you don't have to close a door with anger or hatred. And I think a lot of times when we get to the place where we're ready to close doors, there becomes that part of it that is angry or frustrated, or there's that drama. But we don't have to end that way, because one of the things I've learned to about this life is we just never say never, because you just never know what's going to come back. You never know what person who has had toxicity or was meant to bring that awareness into your life, and then they come back later as a blessing. And so just never say never. Now, footnote, if this is an energy vampire or a narcissist, say never. Just out, goodbye, close the door, lock it. That's a never. Okay. So the narcissist that tortured me, that's a never. Like that, I don't even have to, that's not even a discussion. So if you are dealing with releasing a narcissist or escaping a narcissist or an energy vampire, that's like goodbye. But when we have people in our lives that we love, but we need to put those relationships on pause. When we talk about people come into our life for reason, season, and lifetime, if the reason or the season has ended, let it go. Close the door. Close the door with love. Don't lock it. You never know when that person might need you, or you might need that person. But it is okay to say, you know what? Our time is done for now, and we need to both walk away, and whatever words, are brought to your heart, but it doesn't have to be with hate. There's one person who could leave. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to be political. But I think it was really interesting, because we know sometimes that when I pull the cards, I forget to make sure the cards know that we're pulling for a global consciousness and not for me personally. And this deck that I use is what I use for these readings. It's not my personal deck. It's not the deck I use for me personally, but sometimes it likes to get all up in my biz. So today I had to do the card draw twice, but I was really so excited because when I said, no, these are for me. Let's try this again. We want to have cards that are for the collective good, for the collective consciousness. And so, of course, the first one came up, clear your space. And I love that because, Jophiel, the Archangel Jophiel, get rid of clutter, clear the energy around you. And that is exactly what we're talking about, because that is really what, with Aries and Libra and Pluto, this is what's going on with us, is really about clearing the space, because all of this stuff is getting us ready for the next level of ascension, the next level of evolvement. Because when you are understanding, and if you follow the Schumann resonance and all, which is the energy signature of the earth, it's just like, wow. So there's a website, you can look it up and you can track it. It's really just an amazing thing to see what's going on with the energy of our planet, because and if you're feeling like, oh my God, what in the hell is going on right now? Check the Schumann resonance, because it really is a fascinating scientific tracking device of really the energy of our planet. And you can literally watch it go up and down and be like, oh, that's why I felt that way. Now, interestingly, the Schumann resonance, where they measure it from, the tracking device, is actually in Russia. So you want to account for time. So I usually look at it and go, okay, this is what I'm looking at right now. What is it? Where was I feeling? What was I feeling about 24 hours ago? It's just a fascinating study to look at. But so here we have clear your space. As you can see, I'm a little bit all over the place today. So, but that's par for the energy, because that's what's really going on out there. But clear your space. And so clear your space isn't just about clear your workspace. This is clear your space. So what do you need to do to get grounded, to clear your head space, clear your heart space? And one of the things I really want to encourage you to do, especially as women, is clear your throat space and clear your solar plexus. Because especially as women, we tend to take on a lot of stuff that belongs to other people. We don't necessarily, we don't always speak our truth. We don't say what we think. Now, when you say what you think, you don't have to be mean about it, but to be forceful and to be, you can be firm but kind, and to be able to say, I don't really agree with that. I see what you're saying, but I don't really agree with that. My take on it is this. Don't be afraid to speak your mind, because when we don't speak our truth, we get energy clogs up in here. And when we take on things that are not our own, we lock them up in our solar plexus, can really affect digestive issues, which is some of the work that I was asked to do this week. This weekend was really helped to clear some digestive blocks we have, where we take on the things that are not ours. And we look at that and we say, this is happening to somebody I care about, and it's torturing me because I am caught up in their drama, and my empathy is just, I'm absorbing all of their pain, and we're cavitating off of each other and really creating illness for me. So when you are talking about clearing your space, let's be very clear that we're not just talking about a physical space. We're also talking about the head space, the heart space, clearing in the throat, clearing in the solar plexus, so that you're really releasing anything that is not yours. Because when we cavitate off of other people, it's awesome that we care about people. It's awesome that we're empathetic. There's a difference between being empathetic and being empathic. When we're empathetic, we have empathy and compassion for what that person is going through. That's really important. But that doesn't give us the permission to take it on. It's not ours. We don't need to take it on. We're not required to. Remember the 3 questions, right? Is this my problem? Do I have the power to fix the problem? Did anybody ask me to fix the problem? And even when it's somebody who's close in the family, we may we may feel we need to fix the problem, but we want to make sure we're not depriving that person of learning whatever lessons that they are there to learn. And so if it's not for us to fix, trust that the universe will fix it. Trust that the universe will address it. And that I really feel like the universe has this whole military no man left behind kind of attitude, and that it will all come for good. It will. And so we've come into the next card, which is nurture, which was Archangel Gabriel, who helps us with health and also delivers divine messages. And I love, this is, as you nurture your inner child, as you nurture a child, you nurture your own inner child. Both activities are important. But I love this because it's in redirection. It's upside down. And so for me, this is allow yourself to be nurtured. Allow yourself. So I really feel like that's a very big thing that we want to be very conscious of right now. Self-care is so important. You know what? Take an hour for lunch. Go take a walk. Put your feet in the grass. Touch the trees. Do things that are for your self-care and self-preservation. Speaking your mind, releasing things that don't belong to you. Allow yourself to be nurtured. When someone does something nice for you, like brings you a coffee or a cookie, don't be like, oh, I couldn't possibly eat the cookie because, my hips. Or thank you, because it's not the what they did, it's that they did that becomes important. It doesn't matter what the gift is or the gesture is, it's that they thought enough of you and that they thought of you to do a gesture. Don't judge the object, judge the energy behind it. So when somebody says, and they brought you a cookie, you don't have to eat the whole cookie. Take one bite, you'll live, it's okay. Or just thank them, take it home, give it to your kids, whatever. But it's the action that they thought of you, that they put energy with loving kindness energy in your direction. Allow yourself to be nurtured. I sat on the beach. I drove down to the beach Saturday to be with my friends, to help my girlfriend celebrate her birthday, and I just adore her. We've been friends since we were about 14 years old, and I just absolutely adore her, and there's been some stuff going through my mind and my heart, and some things that are releasing, and just as the universe says that they should, and we sat on the beach and in silence, and we were just with each other. And I know she's been going through some stuff, and we all already had the details. Like, I know her stuff, she knows my stuff, but we just sat and we just allowed the salt and the sea and the waves and the wind and the air to just feed our souls. And we didn't really talk. We were just there for each other. And then after a while, there were some things I felt I wanted to share and just to release, and for her as well. Allow others to show you that they care. Allow yourself to receive nurturing. And sometimes that comes from very unexpected places. It was very touching to watch some of the people that we met this weekend that were just very kind and very warm. And I think we are so conditioned that the world is falling apart because there's so much anger and violence and hatred that's going on, because we see it constantly. We see it on a loop. It's on the alerts on our phones. It's on Facebook. It's on, you get news. We live in the 24-hour news, news world. It's not, how when we were young, you wanted news, you had 6 and 11. That was it. You had the 6 o'clock news, you had 11 o'clock news. Then there was like the 3 o'clock news or whatever after Oprah. Or 4 o'clock, whatever. But that was it. And now we have news is constant barrage. And it's so easy to forget that there's so much good in the world, and that people are kind and helpful and caring, and that we are allowed and encouraged to receive that. Okay. And so the last one was creative writing, or the third one was creative writing, because for whatever reason I was compelled to pull a fourth one. So creative, one more. So creative writing, but again in redirection, it's upside down. Again with Gabrielle, make time to write down your thoughts in a journal, or pen an article, or a book. And I come back to this all the time because I talk to people about this every single day. You must allow yourself to process. The things that are going on with you are so much more clearly understood when you can allow yourself the time to process them. And processing that comes so often through the writing. Whether you dictate it into a voice journal, if you write it into an online journal, like something like Penzu, or you have, several different journals, one for, different areas of your life, or like me, you have all of the above. But these two things go together. Nurture and creative writing, they go together, because when we are allowing ourselves to be nurtured, part of releasing the toxicity and welcoming in guidance comes through that communication, allowing others to nurture us and allowing ourselves to express our truest thoughts, because I think that is one of the things that we lack the most, because we have learned, especially as women, we have, we talked before about opening the throat and saying our truth. We don't do that. And so as women are getting stronger and we are standing more in our power and we're speaking more to our truth, it's coming out in, let's say, the workplace or in the spousal relationship, but it's not necessarily coming out from the heart. And being able to sit down and write in a secure, password protection, or secret book that, your spouse won't touch, and being able to write your truest thoughts of like, I love, and this is, I'm just making it up, okay? I love my mother, but she's driving me crazy, and this is why, okay? Actually, she's been really great lately, so I don't have any complaints. But whatever it is, to be able to give yourself permission to express those things and to literally vomit them all over the page so that they're out of you and that you release that. That's a big part of releasing in through here in the throat chakra and in the solar plexus chakra, to be able to release these things that no longer serve us or that aren't ours to begin with. And so whether you are using a voice recorder or pen and paper or keypad, something, allow yourself the opportunity to express in writing the truest thoughts. And I'm a big fan of password protecting, but allow yourself that opportunity, because sometimes we really can't say what we want to say necessarily, how we want to say it, to who we want to say it. But that expression and that energy release and the catharsis and the strength that comes from it is so vital to our survival, our sanity, our really as women especially. And when you do that, what happens is you can go back through what you've written and read through it. And oftentimes to realize, I didn't realize I felt that way, or I felt so strongly, or that I was still having anger about things. Sometimes something pops in my head and I write it in my journal, and all of a sudden I'm off on a tear. And I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even realize I still had so much frustration or anger about that situation. I need to deal with that. And so that cleaning out of that energy, it goes right back to the very first card, which is clear your space. So these things all fit together so perfectly this week. And so then, of course, was the last card, because I remember I said I was really compelled to pull one more card, which was clear audience, was that decal. And so notice the loving guidance that you hear inside your mind and from other people. And again, in redirection mode, so it's upside down, which means we're not listening. We're not listening. We're not listening to our mind. We're not listening to our heart. We're not listening to what's around us. When people do nice things or say nice things, we go, oh yeah, whatever. Okay. So we're not listening. So all of this comes together, you guys, that this is the time. It is so important right now because it's been very volatile with Aries and Libra and Pluto. This is all coming up to the surface, but it's so important that we take care of ourselves and we follow the practices that are going to help us evolve and help us vibrate higher. And we do that by releasing all this stuff that we don't need anymore, and letting go of anger and letting go of frustration, letting go of people and things that don't need to be around us anymore. And when we do those things, we personally vibrate higher because we are now operating from a place of full-on love and gratitude. Full on love and gratitude. What would your life be like if you only operated from a place of full on love and gratitude? So it becomes super important that we are clearing our space, not just our physical space, but our energetic space as well. And that we are allowing ourselves to be nurtured as we go through the process. Allow ourselves to be nurtured. Take a salt bath. Go for a walk. Eat dark chocolate. Dark chocolate is wonderful for the soul. Invest in the creative writing process. Allow your voice to be heard, even if you're the only one listening. And listen, the clear audio. We're not listening. We're not listening. Give yourself permission to listen. And then give yourself permission to hear, because there's a very big difference between listening and hearing. Okay, so we got a little heavy there today. We have our postcard from the universe from Colette Baron Reed's deck of postcards from the universe by the same name. So it says, dearest you, miracles never run out. Look back over your life and you will see so many moments of synchronicity when all the right people, the right place, the right opportunities, and the right time just showed up without any of your help. Think back to how you felt just before a miracle happened. You felt you were giving up, but it was more like a gentle surrender to whatever was about to happen. We want you to know that miracles are being concocted for you and you will never, ever run out of them. You just don't get to choose how they come, who will deliver them, and when they will show up, what they will do for you. All of that is our department, and Spirit knows what is best for you and what wants to be expressed through you. You are an incredible and amazing magnet for miracles. That would be a good mantra for you today. We're on it. Relax. If you only knew how much you were loved. So I love that because, again, just fits right in with everything we've just talked about. When you can clear your space and allow nurturing to come into your world and express out the things that need to be released. Let go of people, let go of anger, frustration, and really clear your thinking and clear your mind through writing, whether it's dictating or typing or whatever it is, how you can express yourself out onto a page, and really listen to the guidance that is trying to come in for you. You create a open pathway for the miracles, an absolutely open pathway to receive the miracles. One little trick about receiving the miracles is you have to have an unfailing belief that they absolutely are coming. As always, the universe has your back. I am filled with love and gratitude for you. Thank you for spending a few minutes with me today. I look forward to however I can assist you in the future. I love your comments. Please feel free to leave comments. I comment on the videos. I love hearing your thoughts. If you like this video, like and share. Share it to your friends. Let's help us continue to grow our little community here, and help it to be a big community and to share the light with others. Have a great week. Love you.